So, you're curious about plant medicine, ayahuasca specifically, and wondering what you can expect from this life-changing experience. In this video today, I'm going to be sharing with you what I've learned from taking part in plant medicine ceremonies all around the world, from deep in the jungle to some of the most famous, world-renowned ayahuasca retreat centers. The medicine works in similar patterns and ways, and this is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Of course, when you go through your own experience, you'll know that it's important to drop all expectations, but my intention is that this video supports you in releasing any anxieties, fears, nerves that you have before going into the experience, and understanding how you can ride out this medicine in a way that truly supports you. So let's get into it. First, understanding the call. Everyone feels the call quite similarly. It's a pull on the heart. It's synchronicities appearing in your life. All of a sudden, ayahuasca is being brought up in conversations, or you're seeing all these YouTube videos pop up. Perhaps this video itself is part of your synchronicity. I'd love to know if it is. Please let me know down in the comments. And once you decide to say yes to the medicine, you'll notice even more synchronicities appear in your life. You'll also start to notice that you might become more reflective on what your journey and experience of life has been so far. You might start to have very vivid dreams. Overall, it will be very clear that something is coming to the surface, perhaps many things. And this is part of what I like to call ceremony pre-work. Once you say yes, the timeline starts to unfold of everything that needs to become present to you before you enter into the ceremony. It's almost like ayahuasca is doing a bit of a pre-clean, getting you super aware of things that are no longer working in your life, the ways in which you might be perpetuating your own suffering, so that she can go in and clean things up for you, because you will certainly leave the ceremony much more liberated than the way that you've entered into it. Next, wherever it is that you are ingesting the medicine, I trust that when you arrive there will be a sort of resonance with the space. Trust how you feel, of course. If your intuition is saying, no, this is not the right time, this is not the right place, fully listen to that. But in my personal experience, when I've known that I've been saying yes and answering the call, and I've arrived to those places and spaces, I felt almost like an exhale through my body. Like, okay, I remember that I am supposed to be here. I am supposed to be having this experience. There's something about this that I am remembering. And then when it comes to ceremony experience, you might feel excited. You might actually feel like, let's just go for it. Even though there might be nerves present, that fear almost shifts to the side, and you're able to fully feel your soul ready and willing to enter into another reality. Of course, taking the medicine isn't really a pleasant experience. Medicine can taste bitter. Once you've ingested the medicine, depending on your level of sensitivity, I would say it will probably take up to 45 minutes for it to kick in. And the way that ayahuasca tends to present herself is that you might start to feel a little tingling in your body, like something else is here, almost as if you are not alone, not in a spooky way, but just an awareness that in the house that is my body, there is another presence here. Now, when ayahuasca presents herself, it can be in a visual form, it could be a full somatic experience, it could be a felt sense where all of a sudden you hear someone speaking to you. But typically what she's going to ask of you when she presents herself is for you to release control, is for you to let go of your ego and almost melt into this experience with her. So it is important that you understand the surrender. Just breathe. Breathe through the surrender, breathe through the release of control, because she is going to show you things that will change your life, that will liberate you, that will show you deeper levels of love that you perhaps have not yet experienced in this journey on earth that you've had so far. It's going to be beautiful, it's going to be sacred, and it's going to absolutely blow your mind. So remember, the surrender is an important part of the process. For me personally, there have been moments in time where I've just gone right through that part, fully surrendered. And there's been other times where about half the ceremony itself was spent me working through my own fears, my own resistance to releasing control specifically. All of it is perfect. All of it is divine lessons. All of it has changed and shaped my life in the most beautiful ways. If you feel very fearful about that release of control, you can ask her to be gentle. You can ask her to show you how to trust. Specifically, I've gone into ceremonies very scared. There was one night in ceremonies, I was in the Amazon jungle. I was in solitude, staying in a tambo hut by myself, deep in the jungle, lots of noises, lots of animals. And as I was making my way to ceremony and I opened my door, there was a tarantula on my doorstep, and that really freaked me out in ways. My nervous system was in a panic, and I couldn't get to the place of fully calming myself down before I was to drink my medicine. And I remember when I drank the medicine and I still felt all that fear in my body from seeing the tarantula, I set my intention, show me how to trust. And so she was working on releasing layers that would then allow me to trust. So it's okay, no matter how you're going into the ceremony, you can ask for what you need to receive. Once you fully surrender to her, this is where the goodness happens. She will take you wherever it is that you specifically need to go in order to access that next level for your self-awareness and for your life. So she could show you universal truths and understanding. She could show you different aspects of your past. She could show you something that you have not yet forgiven. She will take you wherever it is that you specifically need to go in order to move forward in your life. So trust wherever it is that she's going to take you, and trust that that's exactly where you need to be. Ayahuasca will definitely support you in releasing anything that you've ever suppressed in your life so far. So imagine that every time you felt an emotion, whether it be anger, fear, sadness, and you didn't feel safe to express that you swallowed it in a plastic bag. It's almost like when you drink her, she goes in and dissolves all of those plastic bags. And so the emotions, the energy starts coming up and through because it needs to leave. And it needs to leave in a way that you understand that you aren't going to swallow your reality anymore and suppress that and keep it stored in your body. That is a very powerful lesson right off the bat that she will show you. Another aspect of the experience is that you may need to purge, and you can self-purge as in go to the washroom. A lot of people fear that they're going to go into ayahuasca and they're going to completely lose control of their bowels. They're going to completely lose control of reality and not be able to make it to the toilet. You will be notified when you need to release or purge, and there will be a bucket beside you. And if there isn't one, make sure that you ask because you may need to use that. And there should be a washroom close by for you to get to. Always, there should be a practitioner to support you in walking to the washroom, because when you are on the medicine, you can feel a sort of drunk effect on it where you might not feel as grounded and rooted into the earth as you typically do. I mean, you'll feel connected to the earth in different ways. When it comes to the purge, the vomiting release of a purge, this can be very uncomfortable and very scary. This was what I feared the most at the beginning of my journey because I had such a fear to vomiting when I was a child. I had so much fear around getting sick. But when it comes to ayahuasca, you're actually getting well. What it is that you're releasing is those stored energies, those stored emotions, those things that are no longer serving you in your body. So that's what the purge experience is like. It's you saying, get out of my body. I do not want you anymore. I do not need you anymore. And it is actually a very liberating experience. The discomfort comes if you are holding onto it. The discomfort comes if you are sitting in a nauseated place. If there's any advice I have for you in that moment, it's to start thinking about everything that you came there for. Start charging your own purge with your limiting beliefs, with your fears, with everything that's creating suffering for you in your reality, and choose to let it go. Be free from it. And that will help you release. Once you purge, you are going to feel so good. You're going to feel empowered. You're no longer going to feel fear around releasing what's no longer meant for you. And typically after you've had a purge, you'll receive a lot of self-love, a lot of love from ayahuasca. You might receive some very powerful insights, affirmations coming through, deep levels of awareness and remembering. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be full of love. Of course, that's not every ceremony. Again, these are just the similarities I've noticed as a sort of template that ayahuasca works through. I have had entire ceremonies where I have lied in discomfort. I've shared one of them on my YouTube channel, my most difficult ceremony. To this day, that is still one of my most difficult ceremonies, but that's not typically how it is across the board. And what you experience one night is very different from what you'll experience the next night and any other ceremony. They are all different. But if I'm going to recap this for you, it's knowing that once you say yes, the ceremony starts even before you arrive there. Once you take the medicine, it will be bitter. It's not going to taste good. That's okay. Within 45 minutes, you should start to feel the medicine working through your system. Breathe through it and surrender. Once you surrender to her, you will be brought to the place that you need to work. Once you do the work, and that may involve releasing something or some things or many things, you will get to the other side. And on the other side, there will be love, bliss, and truth, and you will feel amazing. If more preparation or integration support would be helpful for you, reach out down below. I am an IPEC certified coach, and I am here to support you in feeling empowered about the choices that you're making, especially when it comes to life-changing decisions like plant medicine. Sending you so much love, wishing you a beautiful journey, and I'll talk to you soon.